Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Farmer. This is episode 40 of the UnCommon Conversations podcast, The Return. I'm coming back. We're having a guest come back, and we've got some interesting times upon us this day. And we're going to be dissecting a lot of the really crazy and interesting stuff going on in society, as well as diving into a variety of deeper topics and interesting things. What's up, people? So happy to have you guys here. I'm gonna be trying to get my man. Just sent an invite, and we
Hey,
got
dude,
you.
how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you were choppy for just a half a second there.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I to be honest with you, I got up a little too late this morning, and because it's 5 a.m. here, so I get up around 3. But that was a little early for me to figure out all the connection issues, so I had to. For now, I'm on mobile data. I hope this will
Okay.
not interrupt us in any way. There is a pretty serious storm going on as we speak. But I'm pretty sure that we'll be fine. So we're here. That's all that matters. Been looking forward to it. So let's do it, dude. How are you?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it too. It's been a minute. I'm doing good. I started a new job recently. I'm doing relatively well at it, and it's a job collecting signatures for sponsored petitions. So, like, if we want to get something onto the ballot so we can vote on it here in California, we can collect signatures, get it on the ballot, vote it in, turn it into law. And some people sponsor some of those bills, and you can get paid collecting signatures. So it's right up my alley. I
Awesome.
get to talk politics. I get to be out there in front of the people, on the front lines, talking to everyone. And in California, in the Central Valley, we're mixed. We got a lot of Democrats, a lot of Republicans. So I get a lot of action. So it's right up my alley, and I'm very happy about this. It's been great. I took a break from making content, so this is sort of my first step back into really making anything. I just got to a point where I was feeling like I needed that reset and to get back and just think about things and absorb and pull back from the comment sections more than anything. And
That's one
and
thing
it
you
was
want to
good. It was
avoid
the
for
right
sure.
move. I'm very happy I did it. So yeah, I'm doing well. I'm one of the interesting things. I'm always trying to evolve as a person, and one of
Hmm.
the points of contention I'm in right now is um, how much time should you spend apologizing for your mistakes and beating your mistakes over the head with people you want to be honest and transparent with? What I mean is, and this is sort of getting
Hmm.
to my audience that will see this. I said I was going to do sober October, and I made it halfway. And
There you go.
my brother's birthdays are in the middle of the month, and so I broke for that. And so I just wanted to I felt like I needed to get that off. First off, that I did not keep up with that. And what I found from that, though, is I like the 2-week breaks. That's what I did with the content creation and social media. The 2-week window is a little bit better for me. So I'm going to be doing more sober 2-week periods in the future, just in general, to enhance everything surrounding the use of marijuana and my own life. So I think
Oh, so
pulling it back right
we're
now.
talking.
Well,
Sorry, I'm just gonna pause you for a second. So we're talking about not smoking weed for 2 weeks.
yes, sir.
Wow, that's
Nothing.
an accomplishment, dude.
Thank you, thank you. That's very nice. Yeah, it was. It's something to give up because it was something actually that was good when it entered my life. I feel like it's on the whole been something that's appropriately doused the flame, but now I kind of have to
For
let the
sure.
flame, grow back
Hmm.
up and pull that back. All these psychedelic substances, and I consider weed to be one of those, have lessons that you can pull from them. And when you stop getting those lessons, or when it's not quite giving you that meaningful engagement, I think it's time to pull back. And so that's sort of where I'm at. Anywho, but yeah, so I'm doing really good in life, honestly. Like, I'm really happy. I'm really solid mentally. I've been in a really good place with my mental health, keeping that going. I really feel like a few months ago I bridged something, and I really have. I feel like I've been able to maintain. So that's been good on the personal front. And we kicking ass and taking names in the political arena as usual. Um, trying to trying to get things forward, trying to make things happen. I hit 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel, so that was a huge
Awesome.
accomplishment. That happened just the other day. I've been out there talking about politics in front of people. I give them my pitches on policies and stuff, and I've gotten like 5 or 6 subscribers just from that, talking to people that way and just like being like, hey, I got these ideas, go check out my content. So it's been a really good, like, flesh and blood engagement with people. And no mask. I'm there talking to people, no mask, in front of a Walmart, a Target, whatever, and just,
Awesome.
we're having a human experience. And it's something that was cut off because of the pandemic, and so I'm happy to have it back, have it happening again. And I really like it. It's one of my favorite places to be in terms of engaging with this whole world. I like being in flesh and blood environments with other people that want to talk about this stuff. So yeah, so I'm doing great, my brother. I appreciate you asking, and I know that was a long response. How have you
That's a
been? It's
good
been a
one.
couple months since we plugged in, so I'd love an update on you, man.
So yeah, I'm doing well. I actually, when it comes to the things that you said, I have a couple of things that I can relate to. Starting with the weed, I've been cutting down quite seriously when it comes to my weed smoking, because I've been smoking quite a lot of weed before, um, to a point where my tolerance has skyrocketed. Literally put me in a room with Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg, and I'll be fine throughout the night. I'm pretty sure. So it was just like it was just one of those decisions that I had to make, because it wasn't working out anymore. It is an inseparable part of my life. That's for sure. I need it in certain amounts. I don't think there was a way around it. I've been trying to completely stop, but it hasn't been working out for me very very well. Um, so now it's just about cutting down to a reasonable
Hmm.
amount. So I smoke mostly in the evening these days. Throughout the day, I'm trying to stay alert, trying to stay as up as I possibly can. Although, in my case, the weed never really got in the way, because I used to smoke weed throughout my career in finance for the past 10 years, so pretty much my whole
Hmm.
adult life. I used to smoke weed before work, and then I would get the job done, no problem, and if I didn't smoke, then people would look at me suspiciously, because my eyes would be all wide open and all that, um,
Yeah.
so right now I'm at the point where I smoke, but I smoke mostly in the evening, and throughout the day I drink a little pre-workout. Here we go. There was a little bit here, just to keep me, keep me on the edge, and other than that, yeah, a lot of work's been going on. I'm doing mostly ad hoc work at the moment, so I don't have anything regular on schedule. But that's pretty much how I wanted it. Like I said, I was completely fed up with the corporate world, so that's why I disconnected from it. So yeah, things are doing well. I've started a newsletter not long ago, which is just a place where you can find all of the updates on my podcast and all that. In terms of podcast, I can also relate to you wanting to take a break, because that's what I've done. That's what I've done earlier this year. I've done that between January or maybe even December last year and May this year. Or April. So quite a few months of actually not recording anything, only making some notes, and eventually it accumulated to a point where I had so many notes that I was like, okay, dude, better start recording, because this is getting out of hand. There is too much in theory going on and too little actual action. So then I started recording, and now I have about 6 episodes that I recorded. But need editing, and in the meantime I managed to record something else and actually publish it. So it's a little bit of a mess. I'm trying to work it out perfectly. Last week I've recorded one episode with another guy from the US. Very interesting guy, very interesting episode. He's only 21 years old and seems legit already. So that episode is actually coming up in a few hours. It will be available on my podcast, on my website, and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and anywhere else you listen to your podcasts, really, except for Spotify. With Spotify, I'm still trying to work it out because they want everything in MP3 format. And let's be honest, they are quite politically correct when it comes to their content. So I'm still not too comfortable putting my podcast out there, knowing that it might get removed any moment, just for the outrageous shit I say on my podcast. But yeah, that's it. That's where things have been with me. So far, so good. Definitely a lot of work to be done still, but I think I'm on the path. So glad to be here, dude.
That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, it's always about knowing where you need to be, reassessing. And I was talking to someone recently, and I said the trick almost of this whole game and of life is like you want to build up your self-esteem, but you want to dampen down your ego. And there's some
for sure.
There's some close contradictions in that. And I don't know. That's sort. I was reminded of that from what you were saying, because you're in this position where you got to make sure you are definitely, being honest with yourself. But I also think that there's a lightness and a spirit of joy and just a spirit of fun and play that needs to be brought into as many aspects of life as possible. Like when I would watch MMA and I saw some fighter just be like dead serious and just like ready to go. I was like, it'll take him a few minutes to really get into it and to like loosen up and get his flow and everything. But when a guy like a McGregor, who's an amazing starter, would show up, he'd be loose and playing and ready, and that spirit of play gives you a different level of play, even in life. Even the people that can joke and make fun of things and themselves and just have a jovial spirit, they have a certain sort of, there's a wisdom in that, I think, to be pulled from. And I think,
oh yeah,
for hearing from what you're saying, not to be whatever about it, but I definitely think you seemed a little somber. So I think you should manifest a little encouragement and light amongst that. You're even in a little bit of a dark scene, compared to me. The lights are like all bright here, and you're like dark there. It's almost like metaphorical. Anywho, I know I can rant and get into all kinds of weird things, but anywho, I'm really happy to hear that you're doing your thing, man, and that you're in a place where you want to be with the flexibility of your schedule. And I just hope, financially and everything, you're comfy and you're well off, because I know that can be one of the most stressful and troubling aspects
There's
to
never enough money.
Life.
Look, there was never enough money, and there was always something to bitch about. I just focus on the upside, on the positive side of things. There is always something to be there is always something to be uncomfortable with, and to be honest with you, I always welcome that. I embrace discomfort. Okay, I take about a third of my shower. Each shower I take is ice cold. Okay, just so that I can harden whatever, strengthen up. I try to stay away from fast food. Or to be honest with you, the past 2 months, I have been barely cooking because I've been writing a lot. I've been sitting on my computer pretty much all day long. I've also managed to fuck up a little bit when it comes to my training routine. So I've managed to, to work out about 1 or 2 days a week instead of 4, 5, 6. So there was a huge difference. Also a little bit of beer and this, so in when it comes to the overall discipline, I like to be uncomfortable, but then on the other hand, everybody's got their demons. You know, I got my moments when for example, for 4 days straight, I would order takeaway and drink beer and wouldn't really give a shit about anything, you know. And then 4 days later, I look at myself and I'm like, oh, it's only been 4 days. That's all it took for all this progress that I've accumulated over months to go down the fucking drain. Okay, and all it took, literally, like I said, 4 days of not taking care of myself enough. So I do welcome adversity, I do welcome discomfort and all that, because it's about the long-term goals, you know. It's about thinking ahead. It's like with this saying, you know, if you don't make time for your wellness, then you will have to make time for your illness. That's it. I almost fucked it up. So yeah,
I like that.
Make time for your wellness now, or you're gonna have to pay for it later. Wellness, fitness, whatever it be, you know. And so by all means, when it comes to this kind of, you know, being comfortable, that isn't really my objective. I'm not really much into comfort, just like I'm not really much into happiness. I'm more into fulfillment and getting things done, and that, I think, the happiness is a positive side effect of that, you know. But when it comes to money, there's never enough money, that's for sure. And you know, I don't remember the last time in my life that I would be like, oh yeah, I'm fine, you know, I'm fine, I have nothing to worry about. There is always something to stress about. But there is also a matter of how much you are willing to sacrifice in order to get that money. And in my case, it was just, it has come to a point where I was like, okay, dude, I am done with the fucking slave jobs. I am done with being micromanaged by some asshole. I am done with all that nonsense. I am done with fucking corporate jargon. I am done with all that, you know, with all that world where I have to pretend to be someone else in order to fit to the politically correct narrative, and in order to fit to the environment of people who are fucking unhappy, who have zero joy in their lives. All they do is punch the clock, but they have fucking bills to pay, so we're all in this together. I was like, you know what, dude, count me out. I'm fucking out. Like, this is not something I want to do. I've been doing it for, like I said, for 10 fucking years. Okay, I've done all kinds of shit jobs. I've done all kinds of physical jobs. I've done all kinds of office gigs, whatever you call it, right? Administration, finance. It never ever came to a point where I would be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm fucking happy doing what I do, and I'm satisfied with the money I get. You always, being the little guy, being on the front line, whatever, you always get the smallest chunk of the money you generate for the business. Okay, so in my case, it was just like, you know what? I can do all this shit on my own from the comfort of my home without having to answer some, you know, insecure bitch or whatever who you know, who just has to, you know, who has to fucking release their anger on me just because their life is a mess. You know, I was like, I'm fucking done with this shit. I will do it from the privacy of my home. If I fail, then at least I've tried. But if if I'm never gonna try, then I'm never gonna find out if I even have a chance of succeeding. So yeah, money is really, I wouldn't say it's no object, but it's not the top priority. I'm much more focused now on actually doing what I want to do, and then eventually at some point, you know, seeing the benefits of it. But right now I'm more focused on the quality of the content rather than money. You know, money is, if I was only money incentivized, then I would be probably operating entirely differently, the whole operation, you know. But because it's not my main focus, so that I don't have to worry about it that much. And I've noticed the less you worry about it, the easier it comes your way. You know, when it comes to money, when it comes to whatever it is, the less you're stressing out about it, but actually trying to figure out a way how to get it without this stress factor, then the higher the possibility that you will actually get the satisfiable amount, if it makes any sense.
Worry doesn't pay the bills.
There you go.
Worry
Worry
does
doesn't
not
pay the bills, that's for sure.
Yeah, action is the only thing that pays the bills. You know, it's interesting what you're talking about. it's such a blessing in life anytime you can get away from those people that have those power trips within the corporate world that just love flexing their power, love being a jerk just to be a jerk, and when they're having a bad day, they become the bully on the playground, just like we were all 6 years old again. And so it's good to be
Yeah.
able to get away from that for sure. Very important. And someone said once, or like proposed the meditation. If you're in the rat race, if you're making money, trying to get a house or whatever, you're trying to get to that retirement date, and you're going and you're working hard. What would it look like if you actually got all the money you needed? What would you want to do with your life? What does that next day look like? And if you can make your life look like that now, that shows one, like, what's meaningful, but it also shows you like you could have that life now maybe, and you just need enough